Hello, I'm Jackie Costas, the Executive Director of SparkLabs Frontier-ASU, and welcome to Demo Day 1. SparkLabs Frontier-ASU is a new accelerator program in partnership with Arizona State University Entrepreneurship and Innovation, launched by SparkLabs Group, a global network of accelerator and venture funds. SparkLabs Group began in Asia and has expanded globally with multiple accelerators and investments in over 280 startups worldwide. The Frontier program was born to foster the next generation of entrepreneurs within universities. ASU, ranked as the most innovative university for the 5th year running, was the perfect partner of choice for us to launch our new university program. Our accelerator program is open to both student and alumni of ASU and its affiliates who have founded early stage startups. We offer both a pre-program and also an accelerator program where entrepreneurs are able to grow their company through mentorship, funding, and programming. Demo Day is an exciting time for us and our recent graduates as they showcase the progress they've made in preparing their companies for investments, partnerships, new clients, and so much more. Related to our format today, we began this new program expecting to host Demo Day live and in person. I anticipated that I'd be speaking to each of you from a stage as I looked out at your faces with a live audience. Our founders expected a live pitch on that same stage with hopes to meet as many of you as possible. But as we all know, life can throw an unexpected curveball, and much like entrepreneurship, we must adapt. So here we are, virtually. Demo Day to us is about so much more than funding or displaying our entrepreneurs' growth. It's about creating just that one connection that could turn into so much more. I ask that you take the time to visit our startup Slack channels where they have their company materials on display, a link to book meetings with a founder, and will be available to answer any of your questions over the next 72 hours. We truly appreciate your support. Speaking of support, I must thank those of you that have helped make this program happen. First, ASU Entrepreneurship and Innovation has been absolutely wonderful as a partner to work with, and the team has been a big help to our success in year 1. Also, thank you to Chris Yee and the Global Scaling Academy, GAN, WSGR, the ACA, GPEC, our advisors, our venture partners, and the entire SparkLabs global family. And a special thank you goes out to our incredible executive mentors who played a crucial role in supporting our startups. We can't thank you enough for your selflessness, guidance, and the time that you gave to each of our teams. And now it's time for me to introduce our next speaker, Jimmy Choi of Entrepreneurship and Innovation at ASU. We hope you enjoyed Demo Day 1. Take it away, Jimmy. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Hey everyone, welcome to the first SparkLabs Frontier-ASU Demo Day. There's nothing more exciting than a demo day. The chance to hear from entrepreneurs pitching their companies. Perhaps now more than ever, we need inventors, innovators, entrepreneurs. At Arizona State University, the largest public university with the fastest growing research portfolio and #1 in innovation 5 years in a row, we value entrepreneurship. That's why we jumped at the chance to work with SparkLabs Group, a global network of venture funds and accelerator programs. By working with SparkLabs, we're able to offer another incredible resource to complement the programs and support we can provide to ASU students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the greater Phoenix community. You can learn more about entrepreneurship and innovation, including the SparkLabs program, at our website, entrepreneurship.asu.edu. If you're in need of inspiration or evidence that developing new products, new services, new processes is a worthy use of your time to solve problems, to create value, to contribute to community, you came to the right place. You'll hear from 3 ASU affiliated founders who have been working with SparkLabs. To get the inspiration flowing, to know that truly great things can be achieved, we're happy to introduce our guest, Dr. Jonny Kim. Not only is Dr. Kim a Harvard-educated medical doctor, but also a US Navy SEAL and a NASA astronaut. No, I don't feel bad about myself because I learned how to bake bread last month. Back to Jackie with Dr. Jonny Kim.
I'm honored to welcome Dr. Jonny Kim, who was selected by NASA to join the 2017 astronaut candidate class. A bit of background on Jonny's inspirational career. He reported for duty in August 2017, and having completed the initial astronaut candidate training, is now eligible for a mission assignment. A U.S. Navy SEAL, Jonny completed more than 100 combat operations and is the recipient of the Silver Star and Bronze Star with Combat V. He was commissioned as a naval officer through an enlisted to officer program and earned his degree in mathematics at the University of San Diego and a doctorate of medicine at Harvard Medical School. Jonny, most only dream of accomplishing one of your many achievements in a lifetime, but you achieved all of this at the age of 35. So let's start at the beginning of your incredible journey. What inspired you to become a Navy SEAL?
Oh, taking me way back. Well, first off, thank you for the kind introduction and for having me here. So, I'd say that for most of my childhood life, I didn't really have a direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have too many role models, and I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't believe in the things people would tell you, that if you worked hard enough for your dreams, you can make those come true. I wanted to be a SEAL because I had this innate desire to protect the people around me and the people that I loved. And when I first heard about this group of warriors who would do very difficult work and not those actions, there was something intriguing in that code of honor that I really wanted to be a part of. So I remember when I first heard about it, something went off inside me. The strongest calling that I've ever had in my life to this date was just imploring me to learn about it and to train and to put everything into that goal. So that's kind of how I wanted to be a SEAL. I was 16 at the time when I first heard about it. 9/11 happened in my senior year of high school, and that galvanized me further that I had to pursue this line of service.
It's absolutely admirable. And anyone who hears about the term Navy SEAL knows that it's anything but easy. So what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, and how did you handle them along the way?
Great question. Challenges, what we define as hard is always defined on previous benchmarks of what we've accomplished. And I think that is the reason why SEAL training is so difficult, is that it wants to set aside any preconceived notion of what you think is difficult and break your body, break your mind, your soul. So up until then, SEAL training was some of the most difficult training I had ever been through. Just the immense level of suffering, both mind and body. The pinnacle of it is a week called Hell Week, where you're up for 5.5 days. You get 2 hours of rest twice throughout the 5.5 days. And the entire time you're put through, you're running, you're on the surf of the water in a boat, you're carrying logs, you're always sandy, wet, tired, cold. And this really just tests every sense of resolve you might have, and really makes you wonder why you joined or why you want to do the things you want to do in the first place. So that helped reset my benchmark for what's difficult in life, and I've been able to use that in my experiences thereafter. Whenever I come across something that's difficult, I think back to those times of when things were really, really difficult, but I was able to get through it with resolve, determination, and really with the support of my teammates. Carrying those experiences into training, you think that, oh wow, I'm on top of the world. I've gone through some of the most difficult training, and I think that's when you get a chance to learn some humility. Because while I thought training was hard, I was blown away, or I was proven wrong when it came time to wartime experiences, and realized that training can be very difficult because it's training you for perhaps some of the most extreme stressful experiences which you can have in a wartime environment.
Great. And so what were some of the biggest lessons and takeaways that have just shaped you for the future from your time as a SEAL?
I can turn this into a very long answer. There's so many things that I've learned that have shaped me. You know, my time there was so formative. I, interestingly learned a lot about love and compassion in a line of work that is in the line of work, such as that in the military. And what I mean by that is, I grew really, really close to my teammates, and I learned the power of compassion and love for your teammates and sacrifice, and what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself and to serve a greater cause than yourself, and to put yourself in harm's way for other people. That level of service and dedication, watching others do that for you and being able to participate in that, is a type of inspiration that is hard to find in other fields. So I certainly took that with me. I certainly took my level of determination and focus and resolve that I talked about earlier. I'm sorry, that's my dog. If you can hear some howling, so taking those, and I think also is learning communication and team dynamics, and learning to adapt to any kind of situation you might find, whether that's in an emergency room or with your friends and family, or in a college setting, or for me in the astronaut corps. Learning those hard and soft skills have been very important.
Great. And then prior to joining the Navy, you earned your degree in mathematics. So after your time as a SEAL, you decided to attend Harvard to pursue medicine. So how was that transition from going from your time as a SEAL to then being a college student again?
Wow, that was, this is going to sound funny, that was probably one of the most difficult transitions I've ever had in my life. And I'd have to give some context on to why that transition was so difficult for me. And I think it's a transition that is, for the same reasons, it's a transition that's difficult for a lot of veterans who are transitioning from the military to the civilian world. For me, I had been in pretty extreme wartime environments, and not much long thereafter, I was going to school. So I think it was a difficult transition because while being in the military, I had a lot of extreme experiences that helped me really grow up very quickly and learn some important life lessons, some good perspective. I was essentially indoctrinated into the military at the age of 18. I don't mean that in a negative or a positive way, but even though having a set of extreme life-changing experiences without the context of other experiences like college education or speaking with folks that are outside your circle, you're still living in a bubble. So I didn't realize that I myself was living in just a bubble, having joined the military at such a young age. So transitioning to undergraduate and really living the life of a civilian for a little bit on to help me gain additional perspective into the world. What was also difficult during that time was I had a part-time job. I had to give out parking tickets to pay for the rest of my tuition and maintain my military duties and responsibilities. And my wife and I were also starting our family. So a lot was going on at that time. So it was a difficult transition, but I was able to get through it with a lot of support of my peers, my friends, and most importantly, my family. Well, I'd like to take a moment during that, because I think that was such a great question for veterans or any folks listening to this who are dealing with that transition, knowing that a lot of us have had it, a lot of us are going through with it, and there's a lot of support groups out there to help you out.
Thank you. And at this point, you graduated from Harvard, you achieved a doctorate in medicine, but you weren't finished there. And when you talk about when you were at Harvard, you had a lot going on. I get the feeling you don't shy away from that in life. And so you then became a NASA astronaut. So what led you from medicine to actually wanting to become an astronaut and not just stopping after Harvard?
Yeah, so just some context, I never wanted to be a doctor or an astronaut. Those weren't plans for me. I kind of told you, I hinted it earlier. I didn't have much dreams as a child. I didn't have a lot of that confidence, that healthy level of confidence. So the SEAL teams was instrumental for me because it opened up my eyes that I can do anything that I want. There's nothing that can stop me or any other one who wants something badly enough, who's willing to work enough. And the most important lesson I learned is having the right attitude and embracing your failures. That's what I learned from the SEAL teams. So taking that and having a lot of significant experiences in the military, such as being able to take care of my friends who had been wounded in battle, and being able to watch physicians and nurses, surgeons save the lives of my friends and civilians, really inspired me to do something good with my life. And I was happy with the role I was playing, with the role I was contributing in the military, but I wanted to pivot that focus towards something like medicine, so I could leave a positive contribution in this world. And a lot of that was also inspired by selfless sacrifices of warriors that I have worked with. So with that newfound inspiration, medicine for me became that goal. But it wasn't because I was infatuated with medicine. I found medicine very fascinating. I was a medic in my SEAL platoon, so I had an understanding of what that was like. But it didn't really matter to me what that goal was. I just wanted to do something good for humanity. And during medical school, as I was training, I came across this idea of being a NASA astronaut. I wish I had a great story. Maybe there were a lot of Hollywood movies at the time. I also, around that time, met another astronaut, who was a physician and also an astronaut, a retired astronaut. And it opened up my eyes in like a lot of ways. My eyes were opened to the Navy SEAL teams about this idea of pushing the boundaries of what we know in space, in technology, and human limits. I think human limits, pushing beyond your human limits, just like the SEAL teams teach you to, is the same type of limit breaking you can find at NASA, what we're trying to do every single day. But most importantly, having that opportunity and that platform to inspire young kids who are watching, who need role models, and who don't have the confidence they need to pursue their life dreams, I would love to be able to contribute in that effort. And for me, that is working towards the same goal of trying to leave this world a better place. So once I heard, as I was training to be a doctor, that was enough for me to apply. I had no expectations of actually making it through. But a few years later, I've been blessed with that opportunity. So here I am.
Great. And then what has been your secret to success?
So I think that this is probably a very relevant question for folks who are looking into entrepreneurship and trying to make an impact in this world. I hate to say this, but there really is no secret to success, at least as far as I've experienced in my short life so far. There's no shortcut for hard work, for the long nights, for the grind, for the failures. I think the secret is how you deal with that grind, with those failures, with those ups and downs that are inevitably going to come. The secret is that you get back up every single time. You keep focused of what you're doing, why you're doing that, right? If I can just take a short detour, over 200 people were in my BUD class, which is the training class to become a Navy SEAL. Over 200 people. And we graduated with somewhere around 30 of those original people. Those other 170 plus people, they wanted to be SEALs just as bad in the beginning, but something happened along the way. And I think through the ups and downs that they lost focus of why they were there to begin with. So I implore people who are going through this program or watching this and seeking to make the world a better place through entrepreneurship is that you remember why you're doing what you're doing, so that when you come across those ups and downs, you have the right attitude to get back up and continue on.
Right. So people in Silicon Valley sometimes say that it's better to be lucky than smart. How much of your success so far would you attribute to chance or luck?
Well, that's an interesting thing. I think we make our own luck. And I think that is the function of luck is how well prepared we are, or our attitude to the present situation. I feel that I've been enormously lucky, to answer the question. Lucky to have presented opportunities, really, such as going through a difficult childhood or going through difficult military training, having those profound, life-changing experiences during war, having the opportunity to serve others in medicine, and now having the opportunity to serve others as an astronaut. So I've been presented a lot of lucky opportunities, but I think what has made it lucky, what has made it successful, has been preparation and a good attitude.
Positivity is always key. And so talking about just staying motivated in your success. So how do you stay motivated to keep doing what you're doing and pushing for more and accomplishing more?
No, sorry, my dog's going.
You have to talk about your dog at this point. We need to know a little bit about what kind and the name.
She's a rescue that we got relatively recently, actually. She's a great puppy, loving. She has a lot of separation anxiety. So as soon as if she's not near people, she. So the secret to staying motivated, it kind of goes to what I said earlier, is just not forgetting why you're doing what you're doing. And, you know, a lot of times it's not about your destination. We all want to get from point A to point B. We want to be successful. We want to come out with that successful startup and do well. But life doesn't really always work like that. It's all about the journey from getting to point A to B, and that includes the ups and downs and the grind. And I think having the right type of work-life balance to be able to enjoy that, to kind of embrace that grind, is going to be really important for you to remember why you're going through all of that, the end goal. And that's what I try to remind myself when the going gets tough, like it does for all of us. And it always helps to have a strong, supportive teammates in the form of family, friends, and colleagues.
Great. So I have a question for you. When people describe you as superhuman, what's your reaction to that?
My reaction is that, well, my thought is that folks don't know me. Because if you knew me, you certainly wouldn't say that. I feel like if you ask any of my friends, they certainly would laugh at that. But I'm just a regular guy, just a regular person like everyone else. I've just been presented immense opportunities and have had the grace to really capture those opportunities, have been blessed with learning the right attitudes and maintaining humility through all of it, from watching other people well.
Great. So Jonny, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're intriguing, inspiring, and a genuine, humble, good human. And it's been great to speak with you today. So we can't thank you enough for joining us. Any last advice for entrepreneurs that will face many challenges as they look to build their companies before we let you go?
Yeah, I implore, I challenge on your journey at seeking entrepreneurship to just remember the end goal and the significant cause you can have and responsibility to make the world a better place. So I implore you in your endeavors in this entrepreneurship journey that you work to make the world a better place through business. So that's all I want to say.
That's great advice. Thank you again so much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Hannah, CEO and co-founder of ReSuture. My company makes sure that future surgeons get experience before entering the operating room. We do this by making incredibly lifelike surgical simulations. I worked as an engineer at a medical school, specifically in their simulation lab, where I built training models for medical students and residents. While I was there, doctors asked me to make surgical simulations because the animal labs they were using just weren't sufficient. And as we talked to these surgical instructors, we learned that while surgeries are becoming increasingly complex, residents are getting less exposure to open surgery. Simply put, surgeons aren't getting the training they need. We decided we wanted to change how our healthcare providers are trained, and started in vascular surgery, where studies show that up to 42% of patient death due to complications could have been avoided. After observing residents practicing on live pigs, or household items like socks and pillows, we began by engineering artificial vasculature. The response from surgeons was overwhelming, and we realized we were onto something big. Today, ReSuture creates highly realistic models of surgical operations. We aim to become the go-to company for all types of surgical training by combining our high-fidelity simulations with tools that allow for quantitative assessment of surgical performance. We are currently creating lifelike models that give surgeons hands-on experience in a controlled and monitored environment. These simulations can be implemented into a modular system with fluid flow to simulate blood, allowing a whole host of procedures to be practiced. With the addition of tools for evaluation of surgeon skill, we have the potential to reshape medical education. Working closely with surgeons at several medical schools, we have developed the first comprehensive training system for open vascular surgery. We deliver unique value to our customers by allowing them to practice specific operations in the most realistic simulated environment, all in the same benchtop system. Our first surgical cartridge is the carotid endarterectomy trainer. We use materials that accurately replicate the mechanical properties of human tissue and are far more durable than anything on the market. By simulating adverse conditions, such as arterial plaque, we have replicated the challenges of the operating room. There's currently a gap in the market that we are able to fill. Current simulations lack either anatomical detail or the operable functionality necessary to provide adequate training for live surgery. Realistic-looking simulations, like Sindauber's mannequins, may replicate human anatomy with great detail, but aren't operable, meaning the material can't hold sutures. Functional surgical models may have the same physiological properties of human tissue, but aren't anatomically accurate or lack other key aspects of a procedure. For example, many surgeons train in porcine labs, practicing on live pigs. Forgetting for a moment the ethics and expense of these labs, while trainees can practice techniques on realistic live tissue, they can't learn the details and steps of a real surgical operation. Other products, like suture pads, can be used with more broad applicability, but lack sufficient realism. ReSuture's modular system and superior manufacturing method for synthetic vasculature allows us to combine all three of these features to bridge this gap in the market. Our first objective is to complete development of a suite of surgical cartridges that are compatible with the open vascular training system. We have already created our first validated product and have started development on our next two trainers. We then plan to expand into other surgical disciplines, starting with general and trauma surgery. There's currently a push for the standardization of assessment among surgical colleges, and we are poised to take full advantage of it. The greatest challenge with our current resident instruction is that surgeons don't have time. The simulation centers we've interviewed have said that they want to integrate simulation into surgical training, but it's too hard to get the instructors to teach residents outside the operating room. We'll provide the tools to quantitatively evaluate performance using our system, tracking metrics such as time to complete operation, suture leakage, and force applied to anatomical structures. This will allow surgical instructors to evaluate their residents on their own time. We envision a future where medical training is standardized, efficient, and accessible, and aim to become the predominant system for the training and credentialing of healthcare providers. We've interviewed over 30 medical schools and teaching hospitals across the US. All are looking for technology to better assess surgeon skills. The ReSuture system saves them time and money by replacing the cadaver labs they're currently using for training. Right now, we're just targeting the surgical simulation market, but in the future, we'll expand into generalized medical simulation. This summer, we'll be introducing our open vascular training system with our first 3 cartridges. We then have 3 pilots planned in the fall, and we'll publish a study on improved resident performance after training on our system. Our initial go-to-market plan is converting these early partners to our first customers, while also selling to an interested medical device company who would use our system for sales demonstrations of their surgical instruments. By talking to our customers, we've learned that the main way they learn about new simulations is through conference demonstration. Though we're not sure when conferences will resume, we've been invited to present at 2 key events in the coming year. We also have pilots planned at 3 medical schools. We've already had a really great first pilot at LSU in New Orleans, but unfortunately had to push back the others due to COVID-19. We've also connected with a medical device company and local hospital system who would like to purchase and use our system as training resumes later this year. We plan to sell our system with recurring revenue through our consumable surgical cartridges. There are currently no other surgical simulation products that allow for the implementation of multiple procedures in a compact system. By offering these consumable replacement pieces, we streamline the training process at a lower price than our competitors. In 2024, we're anticipating around $5.7 million in sales revenue, with a gross profit margin of 82%. At this point, we'll expand into simulations for military medical training, veterinary medicine, medical device testing, and nursing, allowing us to begin penetrating that larger $2 billion market. We're currently raising $500,000 from investment and non-dilutive grants. This will allow us to secure manufacturing, publish a study following our pilots, and make the key hires we need to go to market. It will also help fund sales and marketing, which is crucial as we enter the industry as a small company. As simulation training has progressed from a novelty to a serious component of medical education, companies are gearing their training to be measurable and repeatable. We're an excellent fit for companies looking to move beyond basic anatomical training. We see a reasonable exit strategy as buyout from one of the major players in the industry, or by licensing our vasculature to companies looking to enhance already existing products. I have a background in technology commercialization and biomedical engineering. Ben, my co-founder, is also a biomedical engineer who previously developed medical simulations for Tulane University. Our surgical partner, Dr. Christopher DeCoyne, is a professor of surgery and is heavily involved in simulation training. Mitch Willett, our strategy director, is the former COO of another surgical simulation company and is guiding us on the sales and strategy side of the business. We started this company because we saw a really important need with serious consequences that was not being met. As trained biomedical engineers, our founding team believes it's our responsibility to leverage innovative technologies to improve the quality of human life. To help bring this vision to reality, we built a great panel of surgeon advisors who have been helping us ensure we meet surgeons' needs. It's our goal to create the most accurate procedural experience outside the operating room and allow surgeons to perfect the necessary skills to provide exceptional patient care. We have the potential to reimagine surgical training, and we hope with your help we can make it happen. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daryl Keaton, President and founder of Sensagrate. We created SensaVision, a real-time software for intelligent traffic safety solutions. Our team consists of professionals with business and technology experience and educational experience from PhD to grad level engineering. Our industry experience includes Deloitte, Intel IoT, Raytheon, Boeing, Bravo Tip and Pay, and our team's background includes experience in deep learning, machine learning, statistical analytics, computer vision, IoT, and web application development, and cybersecurity. And our advisors are helping us grow, and they bring to us tremendous industry experience from autonomous vehicles, monetizing data from connected and soon-to-be autonomous vehicles, business and sales development, go-to-market strategy, and capital raising. Globally, inefficient transportation infrastructure and increasing populations are leading to major traffic congestion, increasing greenhouse gases, collisions, and fatalities, with 1.3 million people dying in crashes annually. The traffic engineers have inadequate data and infrastructure to solve these problems. Current camera detection technologies at intersections are limited in their field of view, especially at night, are not processing data in real time, and cannot track multiple objects. Annually, these problems decrease public safety and economically cost the US $871 billion. The transportation industry across the world is planning for autonomous vehicles to help solve these problems. And starting with autonomous vehicles, the infrastructure is part of the solution and needs to be updated without driving up cost. You can't have autonomous vehicles without smart infrastructure. To solve these problems, we created Sensavision, a mobility-as-a-service software for traffic engineers and transportation data providers to help decrease congestion and save lives. The Sensavision AI software is an agnostic solution developed from deep learning using 2D and 3D visual data that uses our computer vision software. Sensavision has nighttime vision, works in all weather conditions with a 95% accuracy, meeting an industry standard. The sensors are installed on traffic signals, streetlights, and along roadway infrastructure to collect data to detect, classify, and track multiple vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists. The data includes object counts and tracking information about an object's speed, direction, location, and predictive analytics. Sensavision is embedded on an IoT edge device, providing edge computing on-premise at the intersection and along roadways. We sell the unique data also to transportation data providers and third parties. Sensavision will work where we install the visual sensors on the traffic signal. The data integrates into the traffic signal controller box to make the traffic signal intelligent and automated. The unique value proposition of our solution is the sensor fusion between LiDAR, camera, and radar. The sensor fusion algorithms, which is a combination of detected objects from each sensor, provides higher accuracy in detection and tracking, allowing for safer features in transportation. In the US, there are 300,000 signalized intersections, with a maximum cost of $30,000 for software detection solutions for signalized intersections. This is a $9 billion US market opportunity, and globally, intelligent transportation systems is estimated to be $51 billion by 2025, with a compound average growth rate of 10.5%. Our primary customers are market leaders in ITS, starting with the leading US ITS provider who has 100,000 controllers in the US, which is 1/3 market share. Our business model includes mobility as a service, which is priced per location, data as a service, and data analytics as a service, also priced per location per customer. As mentioned before, the data analytics and data as a service is the data that we'll be providing and selling to third parties and transportation data providers. And our goal is to prove with our proof of concepts with cities a revenue sharing model that will help them pay for the infrastructure of the future based on the data being sold to third parties. Our go-to-market strategy is to have 3 proof of concept projects, starting last year with ASU with an IoT tower testbed and postponed until later this year, working with the City of Phoenix for a safety corridor for 1 mile, analyzing traffic flow analysis and near-miss collision data, and also with the City of Tucson for automatic traffic control systems and near-miss collision data. Our competitors include Blue Light Traffic Technology, No Traffic, Rapid Flow Tech, DarkQ, and Simplify, and a few others. Each competitor has a different approach in providing its ITS solution to market. However, they only focus on technology solutions at intersections, do not have a targeted approach to collect data along corridors, to provide safer solutions for pedestrians and cyclists, and do not provide safety data analysis and risk information along corridors for the preparation and mobility data needed by connected and autonomous vehicles. The competitors are yet to provide higher accuracy in detecting objects through the combination of data, GPS coordinates, and warning detected at the intersection, beyond the intersection, and mid-block on the roadway. In response to COVID-19, we launched a new product called Sensacat, which is a multi-symptom detection system, and we're starting with phase 1 of automated temperature screening solutions. Our product launched at the end of May 2020, and as of early July, we've generated over $21,000 in revenue and are projecting $360,000 by the end of Q3 September 20. Our customers include Avnet, Fender Musical Instrument Corporation, and Groove Collaborative, all manufacturing technologies that we're focusing on. And we're maturing this product into a security access application. We're launching in July 2020 a monthly subscription model for a SaaS application. Our financials include the past 2 months and 3 months projections. For Sensacat, we've made, as mentioned, over $21,000 in revenue. And by the end of September, we hope to have over $300,000 in revenue. And with the launch of our proof of concept projects with Sensacat, we'll have projected revenue up to $50,000 by the end of September 2020. Our funding and milestones include raising a safe note for $1.8 million. We've raised to date over $255,000 and have bootstrapped over $50,000 into the business. And we have $160,000 committed out of the $255,000 and $250,000 for our next tranche, or upwards to $550,000. We recently were rewarded with ASU a $150,000 grant towards our City of Phoenix pedestrian safety application. The use of funds for milestones include launching 3 proof of concept deployments in 2020, complete Sense of Vision minimum viable product with our GUI application for configuration setup of our sensors and web application, complete the Sense of Fusion development, and incorporate feedback from customer projects to scale to a commercial product. Thank you for your time. My name is Daryl Keaton, President and founder of Sensagrate.
Hi, my name is Josh Otero, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of NutriGMR, Unlocking a Better You. Our mission is to equip gamers with better for you performance backed by innovative nutritional science. Our problem is current energy drinks. They provide a crash after a temporary spike in energy, leading to mental fatigue, player burnout, and a toxic lifestyle. If you follow gaming or esports, I'm sure you've seen the news of the 23-year-old world champion esport player having to retire, citing health concerns. This is a major trend in gaming and esports, and NutriGMR has created the solution, a proprietary mix designed to unlock a better you. Our mix is featuring cognizin acetylcholine. It's a clinically proven nootropic to improve focus, concentration, and reaction time. Lucuma, a natural sweetener, is rich in polyphenols. We use organically sourced caffeine, which is GRAS certified. We include vitamins B3, B6, and B12 to act as neurotransmitters and protectors. Our philosophy is we believe a healthy alternative to existing energy drinks is needed to meet the demands of the esport athletes within the gaming community. Our science-backed portfolio is proven to improve focus, reaction time, and decision-making under stress. Our skill sets are vast. We've created unique partnerships within esports and gaming industry, as well as the CPG space. We've got an experienced team with over 44 years in the CPG business, experienced entrepreneurs, sports scientists, and exercise physiologists. We've created an innovative product, first in its class. And we're performance-driven. We're a performance-driven team, and we provide performance-driven products. The market opportunity is huge. Functional foods was valued at $175 billion in 2018, and that's expected to reach $275 billion by 2025. Our beachhead is the esports market, the fastest growing sport in the world. With over 454 million viewers worldwide last year, with over $4.5 billion invested in the space in 2018, and over 200 colleges and universities offering varsity esport programs. That number is growing despite COVID. Our marketing strategy is direct to consumer. We use social media, website, partnerships, and the platform. Social media, we're utilizing Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord through paid advertising, content creation, and influencer promotion. Our website is going to utilize SEO optimization through HubSpot and ClickFunnels marketing email campaigns, as well as esport and wellness blogs. Partnerships are NutriGMR's biggest advantage, and we're actively building our network. We've created partnerships with GCU Esports, eFuse, CSL, Twitch, among many others in the industry, as well as charitable organizations like the Phoenix Children's Hospital, which we're helping to organize the largest esports tournament ever on July 25th and 26th to help raise money. We're also partnering with non-endemic brands and athletes. Our platform is Athlane. It's an analytics and sponsorship platform to facilitate and measure Tier 3 influencer outreach. They provide insights, campaign services, legal management, and ROI reporting. We've built the No Tilt Mind podcast. The No Tilt Mind podcast is aimed at providing knowledge to gamers and esport athletes to improve their mental and physical performance in addition to their overall wellness. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple, and we have a 5-star rating. Launching later this year, we're expecting to break $1 million in sales in 2021 and go north from there. Our competition consists of traditional energy drinks, such as Red Bull and Monster, as well as endemic brands to the esports space like G Fuel and Razor. NutriGMR is the only one that is science-backed, has healthy ingredients, and provides cognitive performance. Our launch timeline is launching our performance drink mix in Q4 of 2020, followed by our NutriGMR Kids line in Q1 of 2021, and then our performance shot later in 2021, and then going international either late 2021 or early 2022. We've got an experienced team led by myself, Josh Otero, followed by Dr. Holden McCrae, professor of Pepperdine in sports medicine and sports science. He's our co-founder and chief science officer. Jim Tonkin, who's a 44-year CPG veteran, is our co-founder and chief strategy officer. Alexander Davidson, with international operations experience, is our chief operations officer. Jose Maresma, with over 25 years in exercise physiology, is our executive director of training. And Mike Anderson, who is the head strength and conditioning coach for the world's top esport team, is our director of adventure and movement. Our goal is to raise $500,000. Join us. You can contact us at josh@NutriGMR.com. Thank you for your time.
And that wraps up SparkLabs Frontier Demo Day 1. A big congratulations goes out to all of our founders and teams, and thank you all so much for the support and attending.